Hello and welcome back to another episode of It's On Us podcast. On today's episode, we went against the grain a little bit. We decided to freestyle this one for you. We just had a natural flow of conversation. I hope you guys enjoy and have a great day.
Many man.
Actually, I think that would be a great, like, if anybody wants to ever be introduced to hip hop, hand them that 50 Cent.
50 Cent, yeah.
Get Rich or
So
Die
50
Trying.
Cent will be the introduction to hip hop if you had to introduce hip hop to anybody.
It's a classic album.
Not for me personally.
Who would you
but
choose though?
If I had to like narrow out like a top 5,
Okay, there we go.
he would that album. When we're talking albums or people,
Let's do albums. No, let's do albums. Let's do albums.
I would say that album is definitely top 5. You introduce somebody who's from a different planet into this world about what rap is.
Then you got to talk about your birthday. When you're born, this is a song you play in the club.
So that's true. Yeah. I would say the Carter 3. That's up there too, man.
Carter 3 is
It got some slappers on it.
classic, yeah.
So like I was watching a TikTok, right?
Shit, didn't it sell 1 million the first week or
did.
something like that? It was a record.
I was watching
It
a
has a
TikTok,
million on
right?
it,
And it
right?
was like, he was walking up to people and he was like, "Who do you think is the best rapper alive?" He was like, "Who's the best rapper alive?" And the reaction would be like, Little Baby, The Baby, 50 Cent,
They're Gen Z.
Lil Wayne. It'd be the same like 5 people, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like for you guys, like, who is the best rapper alive?
Just choosing one or top 5.
Just one.
You know, the classic answer is Lil Wayne. I mean, I think that's from our generation. Well, we just say Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne or Eminem for me.
I'm only
He
going to
was the
say...
answer too.
Here's why I'm going to say Wayne, because he was pound for pound the king in 3 different areas. Underground, albums,
And mixtapes?
that's
Underground. Okay.
and then just even cross-platform. Like, if you heard a feature of him, like, on a pop song, you wouldn't listen to that pop song
Okay.
type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
The
mean?
sky is falling.
He's literally
down.
been in the game since he was 11 years old.
He was signed at 11. Yeah, I was watching
Yeah.
that I Am Athlete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Am
So
Athlete.
2.5 decades he's been rapping. He was
Performing.
like, it takes me like, I think like almost a month to come up with a lyric because he said so much. He's been in the game that long. Like, that's
He
insane.
said in that interview, he said that he has to stop his brain from rhyming.
yeah,
He said it's just natural that he just rhymes.
that's some genius
How would you-
complex shit though.
Not only that, it's like he almost developed a mental disorder of like a weird form of schizophrenia because he has voices in his head, his own voice constantly giving him material that
Yeah.
he can't turn off.
But would you say that makes him more creative?
Yeah. Because
Of
that's
course.
his brain, that a part of his brain that he activated so hard he can't turn it off. It's probably why he uses drugs to suppress it in a weird way. Not trying to like
Or kind of like
drugs.
regulate like how he expresses his genius side. You know what I mean?
Because could you imagine somebody like that not having something to cope with and they're just constantly thinking?
I just wonder how much
House.
music he has unreleased. You know, like you always think about the unreleased.
A
you know,
bunch. Without a doubt.
I
a
don't
bunch.
want to know.
Yeah,
I'm not
A
even,
crypt.
I'm not even going to say it because I'm not wishing it on him because of all the celebrities we lost. But if that were to happen, I think we would have at least a good 10, if not 15 years of music. because-
See, but I don't know because he sold his masters.
Oh, he sold his masters.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Made some money.
He did do that for a lot. Was it
They
like
will
over
still make
100
music
million?
off
Oh
of
yeah,
him?
I think it was 150 million or something
Yeah.
like that. It was over 100 million for sure. But I mean, he sold his masters. But to think that he does have another 10,000 songs just put away somewhere is kind of insane to think about.
That's ridiculous. Just to put in that much work, effort, just to build something like that, and just like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it here. I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
the patience to even do that, because that's just remarkable.
It's
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
But for me, it's kind of not hard to think about because all the goats do it. Because Prince still has unreleased music.
Oh, yeah.
Michael
Right.
Jackson, Outkast.
The only thing I you know, talking about like losing people early. You know, you talk about Mac Miller and Juice WRLD and people that have had
Nipsey.
discographies and shit afterwards, and they're like, this is it. Like we don't have any more. Like
Yeah,
that.
they said Pop Smoke don't got no more music out.
Well, and that's why I was upset, like when you brought up the Young Dolph thing, because I see what happened to Pop Smoke, and I'm even upset for his family and his state because whoever was like running his shit did not do it correctly. Like they released all of his unreleased music before the year was up. Like,
Right.
how in the hell do you even do that?
Yeah, well, they're trying to capitalize. I'm sure they're trying to capitalize on sales and, you know.
Well, his name is popping because you always got up and comers and stuff, and you don't want him to be forgot about.
Yeah, because I was listening to $1 Million Worth of Game, and it was a YG episode, and he was like, I'm trying to get a verse from Tupac. I'm like, Tupac's been gone for how long now? if he still has unreleased lyrics that were
verses, or
maybe he's not really dead.
That's true.
If you're still getting these like samples or snippets from Tupac, allegedly, it's like,
or just sample an old song. I mean, and just like and what he means by get these lyrics could be, oh, I got to contact his estate and see if I can, do it like this.
And for all we know, he was a poet. For all we know, he has like
poems.
Unfinished bars or music that maybe his estate has turned into bars that they can sell off. Like, maybe he was doing a project but never finished it, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, that's still some fire. I can sell that as a bar.
Yeah, because look at Jada Pinkett Smith. She got fucking letters from Tupac, and I don't know how Will Smith does it. Kudos to him.
Hey, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
But to go back to what the question was, who's the best rapper? It has to be Wayne, because I feel like Wayne is the most articulate person to rap. Wayne can make his own beat, but also get on a beat that he has nothing to do with, pay the fees to rap over it, and make that his song.
Remember the one song? I remember when it came out when we were at LCC. He was like, I don't even like this beat.
Oh, yeah. That was from
Green
Ranger,
with J. Cole.
Lightning Street. Yeah, it was fucking dope as fuck. He's like, I don't even like this beat. In the he rhymed it. Like,
exactly.
You always knew if you heard that lighter clicking, you was about to hear some shit.
Yes.
Iconic.
And you gotta think about him like in this way, like not that he has a tree, but an inspiration tree. Wayne has the biggest inspiration tree, like kind of like coaching trees in the NFL.
Yeah, without a doubt. But now that we're talking about Wayne and his creative ability, like, do you think that how do I want to word this? That it takes a special person to be creative, or anybody can be creative to any amount of level? They just gotta try.
I think that we are all, in some aspect, shout out to my brand, creative geniuses. But it's like you have to find what you're passionate about, and then explore that genius realm.
Okay.
Because Lil Wayne, for example, he knows that he has this capacity to like rap and constantly do this thing, but it's like, okay, now I have to plot it out so that it's longevity, like last for so long. So
with you saying there's a genius within everybody among their own things, do you think that some people will never find their genius? And why is that?
I mean, it's just the role that they have to play, if you want me to be honest.
Or due to the social constructs that we follow.
Or environmental influences around them. Yeah. Because I believe in the latter. Like, gosh, like every one of us were born with free will. We're all born at different starting marks, don't get me wrong, but ain't nothing stopping you from getting up and using whatever you need. Like, we all have a phone in this room. So if one of us got rich, what's the excuse why the other four didn't? We're all starting from the same point, you know what I mean? So it's up to that individual. And I'll even take Kanye. He started out just producing music. People tried to tell him, you can't rap. Became a rapper and a genius at it. People told him, you can't do fashion. Use this genius to pave a way into fashion and shit like that. It's all about what you truly apply your energy and mind to. Because for a person with that many mental illnesses, shout out to Ye, love you, he's getting it done, and he applies himself. Can't nobody ever say he sells people short or his worth ethic is crap, because you can't be a billionaire with crap worth ethic and no real energy put forward.
And you know what? A couple weeks I've talking negative about Ye, but I do agree with that. His worth ethic, because that's something like in my life I try to apply every day, no matter what I'm doing. My fiance gets mad at me because she's like, "You're really an all or nothing person." I said, to a certain extent, yeah. Either I'm going to fully commit to this or I'm not. Because if I'm going to half-ass something, what's the point? What's the point of only putting half your energy and expecting or wanting somebody else to do? No. Because I know if I put forth this effort, I can do it.
Well, I mean, I'll even take a paraphrase of a quote out of the good book, the Bible. And this is not a cliff note, a God note, but he said, either be hot. So either be hot or be warm, but do not. I mean, either be hot or be cold, but do not be lukewarm, because I will spit you out. Like pretty much, even God tells you to choose a side. Either be all in or be all out. Pick something, but never be in between.
I just because I don't like teetering. Go ahead, Gabe.
What was the original question?
Is everybody like creative, able to be creative to the level of like a superstar, or does it just happen to one in a million?
That's definitely not how you worded it the first time.
Well, I know. I forgot.
I would agree with Cliff that they have to be, different, but you also have to be vulnerable. because the same like you said, Ye took these risks of hearing certain amount of people say that you can't do this, you can't do that, and to be able to be willing to accept a loss or failure, you have to be vulnerable to that, or just let somebody
open criticism, even.
right, or like you said, everybody at the table should eat. Well, you should be vulnerable enough to respect that nobody at the table is going to do you wrong. So, you know what I mean? Like, you open up the floodgates for Ash to do what he needs to do. So you are less likely to feel like he's going to backstab you. So you have to be vulnerable for letting your guard down to expand yourself into different situations. They might come back and bite you in your ass, but in the sense that you have to be willing to lose to win.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how you worded that.
I feel that, but I'm in a class right now, and it's a philosophy class, and it's based on right now we're learning about
He's a philosopher.
Yeah, fuck that.
I love philosophy. Philosophy is life.
So Machiavelli,
You just gonna disrespect it like that.
So Machiavelli said, "Is it better to be loved than feared, or better to be feared than loved?" And his basically at the end of it, he says, "Just don't be hated." Is probably one of the better things, but he says fear is better because fear. If people love you, they'll backstab you, and you don't know because you're they love me. So you're almost like in your scenario here with Jacob and Ash. You're saying like, yeah, someone may backstab somebody, but I love them, so it's like
no.
like,
See, that's
you're like blinding yourself.
And this perception of love is two different ways. But like how you asked before we started, do you LOVE me or do you LUV me? You know what I mean? So you might love him, but he might love you in a different sense, that he loves that he can use you and manipulate you
right
to getting what he needs to get out of it.
Right. And as far as that, like, I'm like mixed on the whole love fear thing, because I heard that back in my psychology class in high school with Mr. Hutlock, I believe. That was one of our questions that we got, the whole love fear thing. And while I do agree with everything you just said, my flip side to the fear thing was, because I believe I even argued this in classes, because what if you birth or inspire somebody to take you down from that fear in a weird way?
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? Because I might be afraid of you, but if I see my life being like worth sacrificing to kill you in order to benefit the lives of everybody else, I may do that. You know what I mean? Because that will end your reign of fear and terror. You know what I mean?
It could even be that you're feared that you may do something that you're not even, that people may think that they're feared of the thought of you, not because of what you've done, and that you're say execute one person. So you execute one person.
I would say it's a double edge. It's the fear of the thought of you and the fear of what you have done. Because you can think that this motherfucker gonna do something, but you see it happen, it's completely different. That's gonna put a different fear in you.
So to be loved is good, right? You want to be loved. You want to be people, but then there's going to be maybe a faction of people that don't respect you for something.
Right, because that always comes along the line. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like fear can sometimes maybe last a little bit longer, because I feel like a boogeyman is something you stay far away from versus something you can hug and love and be up close and stab. So I will give the nod to fear a little bit in that sense. But again, like, if I have a child and I'm born under a tyrant, I look at them and I don't want them to be raised in this type of environment, that might birth my idea to start up a coalition to assassinate the leader type shit.
I think
it's also based on your environment. So you're saying if you're born into something and you're like last week or on Tristan's podcast about Putin, being birthed into something and kind of what he knows. If he doesn't know that, then all of a sudden, how he maneuvers is different because it's not his reality.
And what's crazy is I read a letter from a Russian American who was born during the time of like the Soviet Union being disbanded and everything, and how he felt during that time like his country and his homeland had been wronged. But after growing up and being in our environment and just like watching the news and having like truth being delivered to him, he feels bad for Russia. He was like, back then he would have thought this was okay if Russia made some type of attempt to take Ukraine back over established, because again, he felt wrong. But like after growing up, knowing the history and everything that goes into it, he was just like, this ain't right. Like in a weird way, being in America like helped his humanitarian side and see the light of what his country is doing wrong, which is cool.
Fear gets you respected. Love doesn't.
Well, I also look at fear gets you. if you seek fear, like people fear you, you also seeking that intimidation factor. Like I intimidate you, so you better be scared of me, type shit. And to like how you said, it's you if you're born under a tyrant, but you don't want your son to see that, so you're not going to take that approach. You're gonna, but it's all at the end of the day, it's all like how you perceive that one. I think it's relationship based, honestly, because you're not gonna, because we're. Honestly, no, I'm not blowing smoke anybody's ass. I'm giving you all your flowers. We're all aware enough at this table to know who's going to be real for you and who's not. Let's be honest. And I'm pretty sure all those people that are real for you are probably in your closest circle right now, because you know that. So it's like you're gonna seek love over fear, but you're also gonna keep some of your enemies kind of close too. So there might be individuals in your inner circle that you might take that fear over love approach just because you love them, you do, but at the end of the day, you also are weary of them or know something that they could have did that kind of throws you off a little bit.
But my thing is like, what is love? Is that just an emotion? Is it a mental construct that you're like, okay, this is my definition of what love is? Is it beneficial? Is it like
my definition? Is how I feel once you're gone. That's the best I can explain it. Okay. Once you're gone off this, I'm done. Fuck friendships. But I got more friends and family. But I would never have another friend like you, because you bring much to my life. You bring much to my life. You bring, all you guys. So that's how I look at love. Like love.
So love is value.
Love is, to me, love is value.
Sentimental value.
Sentimental value.
Okay.
And to go back to because I like what you said is about what Machiavelli said, just don't be hated. The way I look at a leader is almost like, not to say like a leader is the parent to a country, but they kind of are. When you're a leader, you have to have a balance of love and hate. Because if I was a leader, it's kind of like being a father. Like, I want my son to love me, but I do want him to have a slight sense of fear in me, because they always say, put the fear of God in your children, so that way when they look at you, like, they respect you and they listen to you. And you kind of want that in a country if you're a leader. Like, I want my people, if I was a leader, to know that I love them. I would come and visit you if I could, depending on how busy I am. But I want you to know, like, I want to have that ruthlessness as a leader. Like, if you cross him, though, he's done unimaginable things, and you don't want to ever, like, step across that line.
But that's where I go with, if you the dictator of an army, the fear is going to get you way longer than the love. You can do a lot of good things for these people, and it's going to take one sour person just to try to backstab you.
I was going to say, because there's an argument within that saying that you want to keep your defense happy. So say, for example, you're loved and so your army's saying, man, this dude's a fucking pussy. I'm gonna fucking take him. And
that's where
that has happened. People have been executed, and armies have overthrown.
And that's where examples come in. Like I said, I want to be able to walk outside, be able to shake hands, kiss babies, blah 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 blah. But like, if also I am there for my army, like but like when it comes time to killing a leader or something, I'm personally doing it. The blood is on my hands, not my soldiers, not the people I sent. You're not my dogs. I did it. Or like, if I hear a word and I find out it's true, versus me saying anything about it, bringing it to him, having somebody, I'm gonna do it. Like, damn, he's the type, when he gets word, he don't fuck around. You want to be able to put that subconsciously in your people, like, love him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's gonna give you everything you want, because when you cross him, it's almost kind of like the Terminator type.
It's kind of like fear me respectfully.
Yeah, fear me respectfully.
Ooh, like that's what the fear is going to get you. Like that love isn't going to get you.
Right. It's going to get you.
Love me respectfully or fear me respectfully. That's going to get you two different outcomes.
Hey, I can't believe Dumb and Nash just put that together.
Or you can even put it this way: fear me enough to love me. Because
ooh, I like that.
That's fake love, though.
You can call it what you want. Because guess what? If you fear me enough to love me, guess what? You can fake it till you make it with me, and guess what? A lot of that fakeness is going to bring you what you want. But
in the back of both of our minds, you're trying to make sure I don't backstab you, and I'm thinking of a way to do it.
Exactly, but that's the way of the game.
So is that real love? I mean,
but that's the way of the game. That part I can't control, and that's why I'm operating the way I'm operating. Because if you do, just know that foot is on neck.
Right. No, and I agree with you. No, I get you, but I think that's what comes with two different sides of the aspect of it. Like, you can be feared, and nobody might not fuck with you. Somebody still can, but the percentage of it is 10 times less.
Because you know who's the best person for this, example that I'm speaking of? FDR.
Right.
He was a man who was very loved and respected, but feared. The man was fucking shot finish his speech, and then I think he went and killed the person.
Damn.
Gangsta.
So my whole thing is like,
Or had a map.
since the moment we've been here, this has all been studied of human behavior.
Yeah.
Early psychologists in general, is how do we social construct these mammals or these people to follow a certain norm or a certain algorithm so that their life echoes or follows in that suit, right? So
to a certain extent, yeah.
I mean,
well, you give people like you kind of form a thing, a social construct. You go to school to a certain age. Then after school, you either further your education or you get a job or a career. Then after that, it's up to you. Do you make a family or do you worry about your career?
Now, wait, so did anyone hear this thing? There might have been a TikTok. It might have been out like last week or something that the American dream, quote unquote, was created by realtors in like the 1930s or something, or 40s, when they were encouraging like home buying, and they're like, how do we get people to buy houses?
I don't believe.
And how do we get people? Because the housing market it's a business. They wanted people.
Yeah.
They wanted people to buy houses, and banks needed.
I took those classes, and
I can kind of believe it only because it is a part of the American dream. Because at some point, like in your dream, whether if you want to rent or own a house, you do want a house.
I don't like that. I don't like that either. That it's called
they blew it up.
This American dream. Like, I'm not fucking dreaming, bro.
And when you're done talking, I'm going to answer Ash's question.
I don't think more like lenders and real estate people did that in the 30s, just because I think there's, like how you said, there have been people around way before the 1930s to develop some type of scheme or system to put us kind of in a place.
Back your mouth up on the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to put us in our place, whether it's school, work, family, done, or school, no further education, starting a business, done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do believe there's a system for everybody, but not everybody follows the system.
John, did you want to go before I go?
No, I'm good, man. I can't find it.
Real quick before, I agree with you. It shouldn't be called the American Dream.
Oh yeah.
People come from overseas, left, right, center, north, up, down, whatever you want to look at it, to be free.
Space.
To be free. And half those people will not be free once they get into certain situations within America. I mean, this is how they look at it. I mean, you have more leeway. Not even that. I mean, you have more leeway to do what you want as your own person, business entrepreneur, person. But you're still limited in what you can and can't do.
Yes.
Somebody that comes overseas can, it's going to sound bad, but, start their own gas station, but they're not going to be able to do what they might have truly intended to want to do, own a city, you know what I mean, or dictate, be in office or something like that, actually make a change for something that's different because they're not from around here.
Yeah, but they might just want to own a business, and they say, well, I can do that in America, and I can make...
But how free are you? Because you still got to pay your taxes. You still got to.
But is it better than where they're coming from?
That's what I was
it's better, but it's
Yeah.
The American dream is to be free. I feel like you're not even free in the sense
Free within a cage,
Yes.
like Cage Bird, like the song.
Shout
But
out J. Cole.
you're getting out of a smaller cage to getting in a vast larger cage that you can't really get out of unless you're a 1% of the upper echelon of America.
And my thing is like I don't even want to be in a cage. Period. I just want to be free, as in like I wake up in the morning and I'm choosing what I'm doing. Now I have to wake up in the morning and I'm clocking in. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
That's free, because I was going to say, Gabe, because even like the top 1%ers can technically be in a cage when they're waking up doing the same thing, can't really talk to the public, surrounded by security all the time. And the moment they stop taking care of business, the moment their life falls apart. To me, you're even in a bigger cage. You're just in a cage filled with money.
But if you've never seen the walls of that cage, you would assume you're free.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is true. Yeah.
Exactly.
The best
Just
way,
like
the best way
Earth.
the best way to control a slave is to let them know that they're free to an extent because they don't know.
Right.
So you have to like almost condition them to an extent.
If you
know
can't
what I mean?
imagine where you're going, then I mean,
True, that's mental warfare.
What endless
That's what it's
possibilities
been.
do you
That's
run
literally
into?
what it's been. It's been mental warfare from the beginning. And for us to like not condition ourselves to think a certain type of way.
But I want to get back to the original question. Why do we abide or have social constructs? I don't know what the fuck that
That's
was.
John.
That was me.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, no, you good, man.
Fucking fidgeting.
Chopping
over here.
headphones, making noises.
He's Dennis the Menace today.
Sorry, guys.
No, okay. So my thing is like, do we need social construct, and if so, like, to what extent do we need?
In a
these?
way, we do, because otherwise you have all-out anarchy. The reason why I believe we have, and this is just my theory, is you want to be able to incentivize the group harboring whatever area or land that is in it to do better. Like, I want to be able to set up a social construct to keep people from, one, hurting each other, getting up and finding fulfillment in work, because through that we'll get production and this place will grow, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's all social construct is needed for, to incentivize people to grow and help the community around it
And
be
right there.
better. It's just that simple.
Pavlov's study on the dog is classical conditioning. With the dog is, if you do this incentive, you get a treat. That's positive reinforcement. So humans, we go off of positive reinforcement most of the time. So, hey, you're doing a good job at your employment. Your boss gives you a raise. That's positive reinforcement.
Yeah, you're just teaching the dog what you've been taught all your life. I mean, that's what we're all taught since birth. You know what I mean? After we get through the badass phase, like, you do something, you get something. Whether if it's good or bad, you do bad, you get bad. You get good, you do good. So, and that's what I feel like
the whole coal fucking, at Christmas time, coal or whatever. Coal.
And that's what social constructs is for, because it just helps you have a better understanding of what good and bad is, what to do, not to do, and just, and once you get that down, there's no pointing the finger. It's all on you at that point. Like, you know better once you get social cues. You know what social construct is. And if you refuse to abide by all the laws and want to do anarchy, can't blame nobody when you're in a rut. And if you usually abide by all the rules in social construct, kiss ass, brown nose, do whatever you want to do, depends on how high you go up the ladder. Pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, there's also the roles everybody plays. The role of, for example, a nurse, or the role of a fucking fast food worker, or the role of... So we all play a role in this collective system, this collective construct. So, I don't know. Do we need it? I would say yes. I mean, I think that a lot of people do need that. Because there's systems set up. There's, like, for example, you said, like, in a city when they start up, there's going to be people that say, I like making food, and I can make food for money, and I can sell the food, and I can make money, and now I have three. I can build and grow and
I see you have that idea, and it's like, now what can I do to incentivize him to make that idea come alive? And that's what you need social constructs for, because you see he wants to do it, but what's going to incentivize you to do that? You know you got the idea, but if you're not incentivized to do it in this area, you're going to take it somewhere else, or just never do it.
Get
Exactly.
paid. Gotta get paid.
So, yes, to build off what you all said is yes, but I kind of look at it a little differently. Yes, like, people need it. People will benefit from a social construct. It's
All
proven.
of us do.
But then there's also individuals that don't go with social. They might do high school, but after that they'll just figure it out on their own. And really follow their own path. They might have 2 or 3 different jobs before they find that one. That's really not conventional. They didn't go the route to go to, like, culinary school.
Real quick, what is conventional though?
That's what I'm saying.
I guess.
I'm not saying that's a part of our social construct, because each one of us have an individual social construct.
Right.
As what John was saying, like, there's nurses, school bus drivers. Their individual social construct led them to whatever it is. So we're not saying, like, you got to go to college and shit like that. It's just, we do have a blueprint, but when I think a social construct is just a simple shit that incentivizes you to do good.
Okay.
Or just go down a certain path.
Okay.
Because if you don't have social construct or disobey the rules, you have rapists, and you would think that is okay, or domestic abusers, and you would think that is okay. Because without social construct, bad shit would just be acceptable.
Yeah,
And that goes back to the anarchy shit you said.
Yeah, anarchy would happen if we had no social construct.
Because if I didn't like somebody and we had no social construct, I could pop them in the head.
Is there
Nobody thinks about it.
Purge, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't even talk because Cliff's saying everything I'm trying to even think of right now. So,
No, okay, so, like, American psychologist B.F. Skinner, basically his theory is that learning is a process of conditioning. It's an environment of stimulus, reward, and punishment.
That is a fact. I love that guy. I thought that's who that was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
and I
Because-
kind of like what you said. What is conventional though? Just because you have went something and that's what you know, that doesn't make it
Everybody. Yeah.
the
Right.
same with you and the same with him. Our conventional ways are 5 different ways at this table.
Your perception
Every
is
listener
is
out there.
unconventional.
Right.
I think everybody's conventional but unconventional. Is that
Like the conventional way of traveling is car. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
So it's
But you might have
But
one
no, some
motherfucker
people might say
do a
airplane.
boat or a boat. So
I don't know about a boat now. I mean, if within the
actually,
states,
Jacob, do that real fast. Look up the definition of convention.
So conventional
Thank you, Ash.
is to judge the morality of actions by comparing them to social views and expectations.
So kind of like what you said. Kind of like what you said. You know, most people travel by car, but then you got those certain group of people that got a private jet on call. Hey, look, be there in an hour.
And that's where you'll hear the lines, whatever's more conventional for you. Because I've heard people say that,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Because conventional ain't just a single line, like everybody should follow this, is whatever works
So
personally in your life.
conventional is convenient, right? So this is what a Karen is. We talked about this before the podcast, right? So a Karen, how we don't want to meet a Karen, whatever you are, but like it's a Karen is basically an individual who is inconvenient for them. Whatever is an inconvenience for them, they complain about it. So my food comes out, it's not how I want it. That's an example of okay, they're in the back cooking slave. We don't know what's going on back there, but like it's an inconvenience for you that your food is like lukewarm or cold.
So now I gotta act. So now I have to act a certain way to make sure you understand where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
Let's just be real. You act snooty about it, and you act like you're above somebody, and you're talking down to them. That's what
Yeah,
I guess it might be just the tone of someone's voice or the tone of how they're coming off. Because
the way they go about it.
Because low key, like, look, bruh, if my shit comes out and it's not right, I'm gonna say something. I'm like, this is not what I ordered.
There's two ways to go about it. You
But-
could be
but-
like John's way. Like I've seen this dude, food come out. Hey, this is kind of not what I not exactly how I
respectful.
ordered. Can you fix it? But then you also got to be like, there's people that says, "What the fuck," and come off completely rude. What's up, Gabe?
from a food aspect,
Okay.
John, like he said, it might not come out the right way. You can be the most respectable way to the server. Hey, this isn't the right way. Can you go back there? That's not how she might transpire that out to the kitchen.
That is true.
This
That
is
true.
fucked up. We need this the right way.
And
So
that's-
now who looks like the Karen? The customer or the person giving the
waiting staff.
message?
True. That's true.
And like you said, there's been times like we've all been out, and there's been times they fucked up our shit. And like, you know what? It ain't that big of a deal. We're just gonna let it rock. And there's sometimes
It might piss you off on the wrong day.
not even that. It's just I don't prefer this that way, and it don't even
Right.
look.
It could be, it just depends. It's just
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Don't even look cooked enough. How about that?
Okay.
And again, hey, I asked for medium well. I got well done. That's not how you like your burgers or whatever. They come back. This shit's fucked up. You know what I mean? So now my perspective is from working in a restaurant. Customer, that's what the customer said to you, and you translated it to me, even though that's not how y'all conversation went.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of
So yeah. It's kind of perception
Right.
based.
So it's kind of different that who is Karen. So if we're having a direct conversation, if like hibachi, they're making the food in front of you. If they fuck it up, you know what I'm saying? I know where it's coming from. I know who's giving it to me. That's kind of different. And then if you, oh no, this is how you're gonna get it. That's a Karen. I feel like that's just gonna. They understand that they could be wrong, but they're not trying to give you the benefit of the doubt of them being wrong because they feel like they're right.
Do you think that it would be better to say that Karens are overly righteous?
Yes.
So
That's
like
perfect.
overly righteous.
Just
Overly
because,
righteous.
so we can have a conversation and we can see eye to eye or see difference, agree to disagree. But somebody who is going to go to the next level and understand, okay, what you're saying is right, but what I'm saying is superior. That's a Karen.
That's a complex in itself, right there.
Because, for example, like, so I had furniture delivered this week, and it was fucked up. There was something. It wasn't like it was I couldn't use it, but it was like it was damaged.
Was there a rip or something?
It was like a rip. It was like the fabric was fucked up.
Oh,
so
you sent it back.
So I called and I said, and so I went through the proper procedure of like that process, and they're gonna replace my couch for nothing. They're gonna.
But you didn't call him like, can I speak to a fucking manager?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was like,
And that's
My
where
fucking furniture.
and that's where I'm
I
coming.
don't want it. Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from. The third party aspect. You called the company or the headquarters of the HR. Hey, this isn't right. So now she's calling a different person, the delivery person. Y'all need to fucking do this the right way the next time, so we don't have to go through the same cycle.
Oh, I'm waiting for the delivery. Like, I want to see how their vibe is. Like when they come back. Like we were just here.
But then exactly. So now he thinks, oh, so what the fuck did we do to him? That's pissed him off, making me come back again, even though it might not even had nothing to do with him. He already manufactured difficulties. So.
Yeah. So in all aspects, like we're dealing with you are either a customer or a consumer,
right? And I think that's really what dictates the Karen, because most of the times the Karens are the customer trying to override the consumer.
Okay.
Because like I said, they feel superior. The customer's always right. Well,
that's bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the main argument that some
agree.
people go to.
I know.
The customer's always right. You can be dead face wrong. The customer's always right. That's what Joe's saying.
Us three, I know, worked at fast food. So, or yeah.
I have one.
He worked at B-Dub. Shut up.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, I forgot.
He's going this.
I wasn't this.
He was there.
But just in general, we've all worked at fast food or something like that except you, to be in situations where it's like, I know I took the right order. Like, how you going to tell me it's wrong? I know I did. So it's like, there comes a point where it's like,
that's the perception shit I'm talking about.
It's you say you could be right, and that's fine. You could think that, but I know what you said. I have it written down, or I know I pressed the right shit. Don't be like that. If you ordered the wrong shit, you ordered the wrong shit. Be
right.
Honest, so.
How many times have y'all? Well, no offense. How many times have y'all gotten to an argument with your woman, and you've heard her say something else, and she said that's not what I said?
Oh.
I ain't gonna lie. I do that.
No comment.
I do that. She do.
How much time we both do that?
That's the the Karen the Karen aspect of it. One of y'all know what y'all said, and one of y'all know what y'all heard.
Exactly.
Sometimes I be talking so fast I don't remember what I said 2 seconds ago. Sometimes she be just saying bullshit. I be like, "What did you just say?"
So then now it's what I mean.
It is what it is.
I feel like Karen can have different definitions to the hypotheticals,
Yeah. Karen just needs some dick. Fuck that. That's all Karen
Like, her life is bad.
Let her drink a bottle of wine, get her dick down good. She quit complaining.
Or Tara. I didn't want to say it because we're not sponsored
by them yet.
But hey, we found out we might be, so we're gonna be in touch, baby. You already know. If you smell.
No, so overall though, I think the thing is like we just have to learn how to talk to each other. That's the main like
clear communication. Clear.
So, speaking of communication, I'm going to ask this question in the talking. How would you feel if your kid came to you and wanted to spend all their college funds on their partner's dreams, and they tried to communicate it to you clearly, and by the time they got done, what is your answer when they tell you?
To the best of their knowledge, they try to communicate.
Yeah, there you go. So let's start with you. You're married. You might have a kid someday. How would you feel if little Blair came to you and was like, "Daddy, such and such and such and such got a great idea. I don't want to go to school and I think it can make millions of dollars. I want to put my funds toward their ideas." Would you allow them? Mind you, you've been saving this money. You and Sally.
I would step in and I would just I'm conditioning my kid to evaluate situations. So if they were to invest in something, what's the
return?
What's the return? What's the return on your investment? Right.
What's the pros and cons of this?
I would ask them like, why do you think this is a good idea? I'm not gonna say it's not because money is just like social contract that we follow as well. But like, if it makes sense to you, then do it. I'm not gonna tell you no. This is we invested this together. But I mean, like, if it works, not cool. Start from scratch. That's just how I'm thinking. Because I'm like, money is whatever to us, to me anyway. So I'm like, if you really believe that this idea works, like if I came to you like, hey man, I got this idea for like Apple. I'm in my garage. I'm like, listen, we can set it up this way. You trying to invest in me?
Let's do it.
Not everybody's gonna do that though.
Right.
I wish Shanta was here to like give a code.
She would look at me. I want to
look at her. Look at you. Give this answer.
Oh no, she would look at me.
Non-verbal, like,
but no, like I know she would look at me. But at the end of the day, like for the question you just proposed, yeah.
What if like Taylor or Parker?
That's fine.
Asked y'all.
Yes. It depends on what the investment is. Like,
wait, hold on, time out. Before we do this, breaking news: Cleveland Browns had just traded for Amari Cooper.
I knew it. Yes,
fucking
yes. I was like, I wanted him in Cleveland.
This will come out Tuesday, but
you got it first. Even if you already heard it, you heard it here first.
I just broke it right now.
Yeah.
So Clifton ain't heard shit, and that's why you heard my motherfucking reaction. That's Cliff Live, nigga. Me and this bitch.
But to go off your question, my job as a parent, I'm to give them knowledge and to give them as much information as possible. It's up to them to make the right decision. That's all I can do. I might not agree with it. I might kind of give them that look like, but hey, look, if you trust this person enough to give them X amount of dollars to follow their dream, then do it.
All right, before I follow up on that, I want to take a shot to Amari Cooper because we needed a route runner, motherfucker.
Do that shit.
OBJ was not running his routes correctly. I heard.
But
and we got
I
the
do
best
believe
route
that,
runner.
like, communication without comprehension is lost information. You can say, right? So, like, I guess it just comes down to translation, and we all translate something like slightly different. So I guess like it depends on your listening abilities as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's just one aspect to like look at it as. But
yeah, I think I take both you guys' answers. I mean, yeah, it's their decision. Of course, it's your money that you have put aside for them. That's the only shitty part about it. But at the end of the day, you know, if they want to essentially almost blow or could blow their money.
Like, what would you say to your niece if, like, you know, your brother came to you and he was on the fence about it and he wanted you to go talk to your niece about it? Like, what would you tell your niece?
Kind of the same thing with, oh, sorry, that sounded kind of loud. Sort of like what Ash said. What's the pros and cons? Let's weigh this out. Let's try to help this person if they're serious about this. If they're super serious, I mean, if it's a good idea, I mean, who's to say that I know what a good idea is, right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Because they could be the next Elon Musk and you don't even know it.
Right. So if it's thorough, if it's okay, I don't have to green light it. It's going to have to be. It's their funds. You know, if they're over, I think it's 18 or something. If you have the funds set up, the account set up, But I wouldn't even go that far. Mm-hmm. Just if you give them a table full of money and say, here, this is your money. You can do what you want with it.
That's completely different.
Yeah.
Now, what I would do, being the person who asked this question, I'm kind of in alignment. I would I would ask for a presentation, kind of like a bank would, and because I don't know a banker, I would tell them, like, you know what, if you can take this idea to a bank and they will give you the money.
Well, kind
you know
of
what
like,
I mean?
Kind of help them, like
even I want you to take this to somebody who knows talent and know business will work. Mm-hmm. Take it to them, and if they're telling you they're willing to even invest something, even if it's not a lot of money, I'm not looking for a number. If they're saying they're willing to invest, I'll invest because the bank has a better ear and eye for businesses that will work than me. So if they say this will work or they think it can work, even if they think it can work and won't give you nothing, I believe in you enough. I will tell her, maybe, or him, give her a little something. You ain't got to give her all your funds, but break her off something. And if it's picking up steam, I mean, then, go ahead. Like, so kind of like dip your toe in the water. You know what I mean?
If you're coming to me and this is prestige worldwide, you know what I mean? And your presentation matches up to it, and I'm like, okay,
I'm investing.
All I gotta say is if my motherfucker crash a boat, somebody crash my boat.
See, but the thing is though, like even in that, they had a dream they believed in and they knew it would work. So like it just depends on the belief system of the individual who wants to invest. If you really believe this is gonna work, it's on you.
I would take the Shaq approach. I would, before I give you this money, you need to show me why you deserve this money. Mm-hmm. Therefore, if you feel like that you could trust this person to give them their money, technically it ain't really my money. You ain't getting it back from me.
To kind of go based off of what
it is my money, but you're not gonna get that back from me.
But it's not. But it's you have given it to your child though, so it's not your money anymore. So I don't know. I just don't know if
that's why I would respect them if they wanted to give their significant other that they could. Because I'm not going to reimburse you for it if they fuck up.
Let's kind of go based off what Ash said 2 weeks ago when he said if somebody wanted to come work for you, and he says, show me what you can do.
Yeah.
That's kind of like in the money aspect. Show me what you can do.
I would give you a small exercise for you to do to see if what you're really trying to do works. If you fail in the exercise, I mean, it was an attempt, but at the same time, you have to evaluate why didn't this work? Mm-hmm. What are the pros and cons of why it didn't work? And then come back to me, and then maybe a year or two, come back, and it's corrected, I'll invest in. I'm not going to say no to a good idea that may work.
Right.
Yeah. That's when on the last episode, we were Tristan, shout out to Mind If I Crash podcast.
Woo-woo.
We were talking about failing forward. And that's one of those things where, like, you may invest in something and it fails at first, but then you try it again and it works.
Right. You might just have to redevelop how you invest your money. Do more research or new methods and stuff like that. So, for sure.
Yep. And to everybody listening, go check out the Mind If I Crash podcast and go check out our skit on YouTube. What's that skit called, Jacob? Do you got the name?
The Forgetful Drug Dealer?
The Forgetful
Money
Drug
Mike
Dealer.
the Drug Dealer.
Money Mike.
And it's on the Mind If I Crash channel on YouTube. Go check that out. All of us are in it. Go give it a like and give us an honest review. And check out Tristan's podcast. He's pretty dope. He has a bright mind, and I like the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really fun last week. That was cool. We didn't record our podcast, so we didn't have an episode last week, so we apologize for that. But we had a good time last week. We technically did release something, but it wasn't on our platform.
Yeah. Right. We were paying it forward because somebody, paid it forward on ours. Just giving it back.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the realm we're in. We're trying to will our ideas into fruition.
Right.
And that's pretty much the whole gist of it. Like, you have to be bold enough, brave enough to take a chance on yourself.
For sure.
For sure.
I don't think everybody's like capable of doing that though.
No.
But why not though?
Well, like I tell everybody, and it always sounds shitty when I say it, but I don't mean it with vitriol, but somebody has to play the role. Like, we have to be happy we're playing this role right now in this basement, because there's a whole lot of motherfuckers on their couch right now not playing this role, and we could be filling their shoes. Somebody has to play the role in the grand scheme. You can only be happy for the shoes that you fill. And I pray for those who don't wear my shoes and don't do what I do, because eventually I want you to find your passion and get up and get out and get something.
No, don't fill my shoes. I'm 11.5, baby. You can fill your own fucking 10 and whatever size you wear. That's your size. That's your thing. And that's what I go back to. Like, we're born with some type of ability, some type of gift. Like, you are a creative genius in your own way. Just explore whatever realm you need to express your genius.
And just to make everybody feel better, just always remember this too. You're one of one. You're literally the only carbon footprint of yourself that will ever be duplicated in life, ever.
Nobody can ever replicate your fingerprint.
Nope, nothing. So, live life freely and just understand you are truly unique. This is your journey, and that's something to feel happy about. Who can say they're one of one?
Right.
It just disturbs me because, like, everybody doesn't, we say it, but everybody doesn't believe it.
But I say, technically, we all can say we're 101.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
We are. That's what I'm saying.
But then it goes to what Oscar said. How many of us believe that we're 101? Or just not, sheep in the line?
I do. I believe I'm 101.
All right. So, we going into I was about to say.
Mental health check?
Yep, we're thinking the same thing. Let's dive into our mental.
Well, we know all these Brown fans at the table probably at least went up
from what you were going to
2 points at least.
I'll start it off. Y'all heard my dog call. I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm stealing the mic from you on my yay shit. Like I said, y'all heard my dog call. We got Amari Cooper, a real route runner now. Somebody who Baker can trust running his routes. He won't freelance. Again, I am happy for OBJ. I want to say that on the mic, and I want to be very clear because I have been rough on him. Shout out to OBJ for becoming a Super Bowl champ. He made a real impact. And
to add to that, 3 years ago to this exact day, I traded for Odell.
I was going to say that. I thought that was the date.
So I'm handing him his flowers on the mic. I'm not waiting until, he's retired or gone. I'm a man of objectivity, and I'm a man of my word. So shout out to you, Odell. Great job. But I am happy for wherever you go, but I'm also happy for our Browns. We got a real route runner, somebody who's going to hopefully grow with Baker now, because I know Jarvis is out the door because they're going back and forth. But hopefully we can get some young receivers
what do you mean
in
Jarvis
here.
is out the door? Is he leaving?
It's his contract. His contract's too much.
He could be a casualty of salary cuts.
That,
unfortunately.
and low key, nobody will say this. This is actually Cliff's theory. He's leading the charge on the whole salty Odell left crowd, because there's a crowd still salty in the locker room that Odell left. He's definitely he's his best friend, probably holding that banner. Probably good for the best of Baker and his career. Let's get some young receivers in here, get them under Amari's stewardship, and do what we do with a good.
Do you think he's more bummed or salty?
Who?
Jarvis.
Bummed.
I don't think he's either.
Bummed out.
Because he
bummed out, not salty, just bummed out.
They had such good hopes for that team, for Jarvis, and then he got Odell. It's like, shit, let's do it.
I could change his whole culture.
And I'm just being honest. Like, if I brought one of you guys into my work environment and one of my co-workers kind of even though I like them just as much as I like
stole you away,
not even stole you away, kind of pushed you out the door, I kind of be bummed out towards that person too. So that's just reality speaking. So
for sure,
I'm a 10 out of 10. I've been exhausted as fuck, but that Browns news definitely got me up. I feel a great year for Cleveland coming in.
I'm going last because y'all know I ain't a Browns fan, so I'm just throwing it out now.
Thank you, Jacob, for this Dwayne The Rock Johnson tequila. Got me feeling good. I'm about to go to Sky Zone after this bounce around, and yeah.
Nice.
Thank you guys for being here
Who's
with me on
going
Sunday.
next? Josh,
Salute.
John, Jake?
I'm gonna pass it to the fellow chocolate man on the podcast.
All right, hold on. Let me take
Get
this
into
shot.
his mental. We're like a Kit Kat. I'm breaking you off with Osh right now.
So for me, I would say that I'm at a like a 10. I mean 9.8. Because I'm never a 10. There's always something inside of me that's like battling itself. But no, life's good, man.
So you were a 10 on your marriage weekend. Yeah. That recording, you were a 10.
Was I?
I believe you were a 10.
Yeah. Girl, I mean,
You were coming off an extreme high.
Yeah, I'm still coming out. It's just like I'm so grateful for like being with you guys and like being in this space that we're in, because like I can see where we're going. It's on us to really push the message, get out there, talk to people, communicate with people, and just do what we're supposed to do.
Happy to be here with you, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, overall I'm good. Jacob, you?
I'm a 9. I'm not gonna say 10, but I'm a 9. I'm, you all know me. I'm pretty even keel. I got real anxious because something almost messed up with my paycheck this week, so I was kind of anxious about it. I had to, contact people, make sure that stuff got straightened out, but everything was pretty good.
You know what's weird? I think there was a weird hack going on because last week all my co-workers didn't get their paychecks on time. Something random went on.
Really?
Their money too.
Shit.
Oh, well, then I found out I got money and didn't even know about it, so.
That's the crazy part.
Shit.
Damn.
Hacking good. Shit.
What about you, Mr. John?
Oh, I'm tired, man. This week has been long, and I still got a lot more to go.
Feel you.
I think number wise, I'm like I'll say like a 7.5. I just really got to put more pressure on myself to keep pushing myself, and I don't know, just in all aspects, work, home, life, all that. So I'm doing okay. I was able to see my I didn't see my niece last night. I was over my brother's house last night and played Mario Party. I fucking whooped his ass, low key.
On what system and which part?
Switch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Is it fun on the Switch?
Yeah, no, it's like it's like the TV version. You can. It's the new one, Superstar, I think it's called.
I want to play it so bad.
Yeah.
We got that.
They got rid of the fucking. I was so they had the last year's 2 years ago they had Mario Party 10 or something, or 11 or 12 or something.
That's crazy.
And now it's called Superstar. It's a new one. They only have like 6 characters. They got rid of Shy Guy. I'm like, man, that was my guy, man.
Why only 6 characters? Like, do you have to buy the other ones, or are they gonna
No,
slowly release
it's like the
them?
classic. It's like so you can play games from the Nintendo 64. You can play games and maps from other.
No way.
But it's not all the maps, so that's the only thing. It's like it's very selective. It's almost like why not just let it. Just put it in a DLC or something. Put it in like an extra package, like to buy the other. I'd do that.
I hope they do.
Now you're
it's
trying
a
to
good
waste their
grab.
money too quick.
That's a good
Nah,
one.
fuck it.
So
Have
have
fun, man.
They should have a DLC with like all of the skins ever created too, eventually. But let me guess the 6 OG characters. Obviously Mario, Luigi,
It might be 8. Yeah.
Princess Peach, Yoshi, Donkey Kong. Oh, okay, 3 more.
Wario.
Yep, Wario. Is Waluigi in it too?
Big B, come on, bro.
Bowser?
Bowser. I was gonna say
Bowser's not.
No, Bowser?
No Bowser.
Donkey Kong?
I already said Donkey Kong.
How is Toad?
Mario?
Nope.
No, not Toad. He's a helper.
He's the helper. Yeah,
He's a
like
helper.
The host.
Who am I missing?
You said Yoshi, right?
I said Yoshi. I said Mario, Luigi, Waluigi.
Baby Mario?
Nope.
No, he's not.
No, he was
It's not an OG.
You don't know? Wow. There's no Bowser and Bowser.
What's her name? It's
Princess Daisy.
Daisy's in there.
Princess Daisy. That's what I did.
Rosalina's in there. And
Where's Peach then?
Peach is in there.
You already said Peach.
Yeah, you said
Said Princess Peach.
I didn't say Daisy. That was my 8th character. But who's Rosalina?
Rosalina's another princess. She's the like star, like
that's
something.
That would be 9 then.
So there might be like 10 because there's also one more. Yoshi's white
Significant
girlfriend
other,
or whatever.
So is it like a pink Yoshi?
The pink one with the fucking big nose, big mouth.
And then,
What is her name?
And it's like a heart nose.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I remember her.
That's who Cell plays with on her
Really?
Switch. Yeah, I'm Yoshi and she's like the female version. Yeah.
I was like, why didn't they just make a pink Yoshi? I always thought the nose on it was weird. Like, I don't want an open nose on a Yoshi.
Yeah.
No,
But no.
I'm good, man.
That's good. Gabe?
Okay, what about you, man? What's
Final
going on?
finale?
No cap. I'm on 10, bro. I'm excited. Y'all getting better.
Hey, Scorpio gang on 10 today.
I want the smoke in the division for the NFL. baseball signed CBA and all their negotiations. Baseball is back, so
Yes,
thank the
sir.
fucking Lord. I can start watching baseball.
I seen that.
Yeah, I like how we improvised today. And, we were supposed to have a guest today. Shout out to Sandra.
Yes.
Chandra. Shout out to her. She was supposed to come in today, but she didn't. But I mean,
Hopefully we get her soon.
right.
We will.
We pushed it on the swivel, and we did a good pod, I think, today without without no real
No
dialogue, and I think we did pretty good. So I kind of like that we all kind of came in and just did our own thing. We set up, had a little, me, Jacob, and John time.
Yeah, kind of wanted to keep it like organic. You know what I mean?
Speaking of leagues and stuff, I've never been in a fantasy football league ever. But should we do our own league amongst ourselves?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All we need is 3 more people.
Well, I know Benny and Rick will get in on it.
Who?
Benny and Rick.
There we go.
Benny and Rick.
Yeah,
RJ.
on our league, because you said we need 3 more people, right?
Yeah.
Benny and RJ.
Benny, RJ.
So
Oh, you said Rick. I'm like, nigga, who is Rick?
Rick and Morty. Rick Grimes.
You got a cliff note for us today, Cliff?
Yeah. And then there's something else I was gonna say.
Quick, while he looks for a cliff note, please follow us on all pages that we're on. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Twitter. We
Instagram.
release
TikTok.
episodes
Spotify.
every Tuesday. We're going to be pushing more content out there. Like I said earlier in the episode, check out Mind If I Crash. Good collab partner we're going to have in the future. And now,
Red flag.
check us out. Fuck with us. We love y'all. All that shit.
I tell you what. If you follow us, I give you a free hug.
Oh,
And that's
shit.
Jacob's 3rd time saying he loves us, so I know he's been drinking all day.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I stopped drinking that
We
time
don't
last
love you,
night.
Jacob, so that's fine. Yeah,
That's fine.
And you know what? The cliff note for the day, and this reminds me of the movie Soul, if anybody's ever seen it with
Great
Jamie
movie.
Foxx. Yeah. And it's live your life like it's your second chance. Because at the end of the movie, after he even lived out his dream and everything, he had a true epiphany. I'm not gonna ruin it because you gotta watch the movie. But he wanted to live every second like it was his last, and it was truly inspirational.
You're
And again, Jamie Foxx voices the character, so it's worth listening if you love Jamie.
Nice.
cool.
All right, fellas.
Do we have anything else we want to say? Like I said, shout out to our podcast. It's on us. Mind If I Crash podcast. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to every entrepreneur out there in the local area doing a damn thing. And hopefully we're at international.
Real
Gabe,
quick,
you got
yeah.
something to say?
Just to make an announcement, we are pushing to go to the international this year. We have other ventures that we're trying to do.
There we go.
Just stay with us. Keep listen to our episodes, subscribe, of course, and check us out, man.
And I will say this too: if you really fuck with us, we just put this out there, so put it in your notebook. Whatever you got to do. If we make it to the international, stop by our booth. We want to interview people on the go. We will be stopping, talking to you, talking to everybody. So stop, get your voice heard, get your business out there, get your cousin's business out there. We don't care. Just come, show us love. We want to show you love, and put Lorraine on.
I'll even offer you a signed picture with the Glizzy God himself.
yes, sir.
That's me.
And you know what? And if we get enough people to talk, we might even have them drink pot milk.
Oh, shit.
We can have a raffle for somebody to do it.
We gotta push that. Okay.
You know what? We might even give away money for people who can drink a whole cup of pot milk. How about that?
Hey.
$10 to people who can drink pot
There we
milk.
go. That's the idea, John.
All right,
I just
y'all.
wanted to say real quick.
That'll definitely get traffic going.
Hi, Mom.
There you go.
It's been another episode of It's On Us. Talk to you soon.
Ciao.
yeah.
And that is going to wrap it, guys. The episode is finished. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like it, share it with your friends and family, and be sure to follow us on all our social media pages at IOU Podcast 440. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the continued support. We'll see you soon. Bye.